Okay, now we have your product created. Now we need to decide whether you are using one of our own sales processes or creating your own. AppSetter allows you to do both. So to get started, click inside sales processes, and you'll see here my user has a few that I've created, and then there are a handful of pre-built ones that you can use. So let's take this one here. Now it's grayed out because we don't allow you to edit the pre-made ones. But if we have a look in the wiki, we have an example of one here. And the way we work sales processes is we split them into phases. So we say conversations are in, say, 3 phases. Phase 1, clarify why they're there. We give an instruction or a step and an example. Phase 2, qualify the prospect. Again, more instructions and a few examples. Then finally, phase 3, book the appointment. Now you'll see we add in extra notes about ensuring the prospect meets the qualifications. This isn't always necessary as the AI has gotten better, but it's worth having in there as a safety check. Now, for writing your own, I've created a base template here where you specify the objective and you add the steps and an example. So if we take this here, we can walk through what this would look like. Now again, you can just use the pre-built ones if you do not want to create your own. So in this case, I've copied the template. Now let's hit the create button. We can name our sales process. I'll just call this one demo sales process. The description is just for yourself. Then the sales prompt. So if we paste what we have in there, it's all looking good. Now we can identify the first objective that we want our bot to do. So let's say phase 1. Let's say we want to confirm their name. Actually, we'll tell it to ask who am I speaking to. Step 2 might be confirm their phone number. And step 3 could be confirm their email address. Then for an example, we can say, hey, is this Alex? Then for phase 2, if we want to qualify the prospects, we might say qualify the prospect. Step 1, we can tell it to ask a leading question that's relevant to the qualifiers. Step 2, if we need it, could be ask clarifying questions on the prospect's qualifiers. Step 3 could be reaffirm the prospect has done well, and if they qualify, move on to phase 3. Now for an example, you can give one positive and one negative or combine both. So in this case, we might say, great work. Scaling your agency to 20 clients isn't easy, particularly on the operation side. Or we can say, sorry to hear you've been having trouble. How long has this been going on for? Now, depending on whether you just have one product or two, you could then lead the sales process to downsell. For example, in here, if we say, if we replace this with, if the prospect is not qualified, downsell then to the other offers. If they are qualified, continue to phase 3. Now, phase 3, we want to book the appointment. Now we have this note in here, and it isn't always necessary, but I recommend having it just to keep the AI in check. So step 1 could be propose a 30-minute call where we can deep dive into their business and see how much money they're leaving on the table. Step 2 would be, if they agree, find a time that suits them. And step 3, confirm the call details and share them with the prospect. Now, an example could be, awesome, do you mind if I weigh in with my 2 cents? We see this happen all the time because agencies don't know how to niche down properly. But with our niche selection protocol, we can find you a unsaturated industry in no time that is easy to deliver. Are you open to hopping on the call so we can show you how it works? Now, you don't need to go to that same extent, but that gives a rough overview on how to create your sales processes, the examples that you might want to provide to guide the AI if it's not talking how you want it to. And as you can see, that did not take long at all. And once this is done, all you do is hit save. And you have your very own sales process. Next up, we can work on the knowledge banks and finally piece together your agent.